Yo, yo, guys. I can feel the momentum. Can you feel the momentum? But before I get into the topic of this video, shout out to Dallas Goddard. He just got paid a very handsome contract extension. I like this move because when you traded Zach Ertz, that basically meant that you saw Goddard as the future, and it was very important. People aren't really realizing it. It was very important that we paid Goddard before guys like Darren Waller got paid because guys like Darren Waller, they're going to set the market higher. And then if you had waited to do this, you would have had to pay Goddard even more money. I really like Dallas Goddard. There's one play that always sticks out in my mind. It was when we were in the middle of that late run of 2019 to win the division. It was our final game against the Washington Redskins. Goddard made a spectacular one-handed catch. It was amazing, that catch. And he's a good blocker, too. I really like Goddard. My only knock on Goddard is that, similar to another player, Miles Sanders, he gets injured a little too often. His health is a slight concern to me, but I don't regret paying him. This was a good move, and congratulations, Goddard. Avonte Maddox also got paid. He's shown to be shining as a dime corner, like a nickel corner. And speaking of Avonte Maddox, I didn't say this in my last video. There was a point in that Broncos game where he was covering one of the Broncos receivers, Tim Patrick. And on this one play, Maddox got beat. And then there was a flag thrown for taunting. And initially I'm thinking, dude, how in the world are you going to taunt after you get beat on the play? You get beat on the play and then you're going to be taunting? What could you be taunting about? My voice. What could you be taunting about? But it turns out actually that Patrick kicked Maddox in the hand on that play. So I'm like, oh, okay. That made sense. So anyway, we have a big game. Yeah, another big game coming up. The New Orleans Saints coming into Philadelphia to take on our Eagles tomorrow. And this is a team that is wrecked with injuries. They are missing their two tackles. It was Armstead and whatever that other guy's name is. And they're missing their best pass rusher too. Well, one of their best pass rushers, Pasangango. He has a crazy last name, that pass rusher. This is a very injured team. And most notably, they will be missing Alvin Kamara. And this is a big part of this game because the Eagles, they are still not very good at covering the run. The Broncos, they pulled off some decent heavy runs against us. This is not a defense built to run the ball. This is not a defense built to stop the run. So the fact that they won't have Alvin Kamara, that is a big shift in this game. Because Alvin Kamara, he's basically the lifeline of that Saints offense. He's the lifeline. This offense doesn't scare me right now. They don't have Alvin Kamara. They don't have Michael Thomas, who was a dingbat. He didn't get surgery on that injury he had last year, and now he had to miss the rest of this season as a result. I kind of think that Thomas was trying to force his way out of New Orleans. Like, it just felt like he was kind of like, let me just try to get out of here. Let's try to get out of here. So this offense right now, they have Trevor Siemian. He came in after Jameis Winston got injured against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He tore his ACL out for the season. Trevor Siemian doesn't scare me. He doesn't scare me at all. All right? He don't scare me. Now, Jameis Winston, if Jameis Winston was playing, I would be nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I know he has the reputation of the guy that had like 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions in 2019. I get that. But I remember Jameis Winston as a rookie. He came into our stadium. He walked into Lincoln Financial Field. And that man threw 5 touchdown passes. 5 touchdown passes. I think that's like a rookie record. A rookie record for touchdown passes. He killed us at the Link in his rookie season. So ever since then, I do not underestimate Jameis Winston. So he's not playing, which is good. Trevor Siemian, once again, I don't believe in Trevor Siemian. He's like a lifelong backup. Now, I want us to avoid falling into the same traps because there has been a certain pattern this year that the Eagles keep falling into. We have a very good game, and then the stuff that won us that game, the fundamentals that achieved that victory, we abandon those fundamentals in the following game. What do I mean by that? So week 1, we go into Atlanta and we dominate the Falcons 32-6. In that game, we had a very balanced offense. We ran the ball well. We passed the ball well. The defense was strong. The offense was strong. It was a pretty well-rounded game overall. And then the next week, we go home to face the San Francisco 49ers, the first home game of the Nick Sirianni era. And what do? The offensive play calling, specifically in the red zone, loses that game. You had like a 98-yard passing play to Quez Watkins. It was the longest passing play since 2010 when Michael Vick threw that bomb to Deshaun Jackson against the Washington Redskins. Our longest passing play since 11 years ago. 11 years. And we get nothing after that play because Nick Sirianni, his horrible offensive play calling in the red zone. That game, we went for like a Philly special on 4th down. And it's like, just take the points, man. The offensive play calling against the Niners was horrible. It was absolutely atrocious. And then our second win of the year, we go into Carolina and in a game where our offense was totally just neutralized for 3 quarters. It was really the defense carrying us in that game. In Carolina, we got some heavy pressure on Sam Darnold. Our defensive line, they showed up and they showed big in that game. The defense absolutely played their hearts out in Carolina. The offense woke up late in the game. Hurts had 2 late rushing touchdowns, but it was really the defense that dominated that game. The very next week, we play the defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a game that I went to. We don't get any pressure. We don't get any pressure on Tom Brady. He has all this time to throw, literally, and we get no pressure on him. We lose. Then the Detroit Lions game, we go into Detroit and we massacre the Lions. That was another game, just like the Buccaneers game. We got heavy pressure. We got heavy pressure on Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a quarterback where if you make him uncomfortable, he will fall apart. He'll go, he's done. And then the next week against Justin Herbert, there is no pass rush. No pass rush. You let the guy complete 32 out of 38 of his passes. All right. So you see what I'm saying here? Whenever we win a big game, it seems like the very next game, we totally abandon what won that game. We totally abandon what helped us achieve victory 1 week earlier. I want us to avoid that trap. What did you do well in this Broncos game? You ran the ball very well, and you got some pressure on Teddy Bridgewater. You made him sweat. You made him uncomfortable. You made him have to move around in that pocket there. Now, similar to the Buccaneers, the Saints are known for having a top run defense, like a really good defense against the run. I don't care. Don't let that stop you from running the ball. We finally know, ever since that game in Detroit, we finally know how to run the ball. Where Nick Sirianni, he finally understands. He's finally calling good plays. He's finally knowing the fact that you have to run the ball. If you have a young quarterback like Jalen Hurts, the main way that you can help them develop, give them a consistent run game. In that Buccaneers game, I am not exaggerating this. This is no joke. After the first half ended, we only had 1 yard rushing. 1 yard rushing. I get it. I went into that game. I didn't think we were going to run the ball well because it was the Buccaneers. They had the best run defense in football. But 1 yard in the first half, 1 yard? 1 yard? That's unacceptable. That is completely unacceptable, all right? So don't fall into these traps. Remember what you did well last week, Nick Sirianni. You remember what you did against the Broncos. Do it again. Okay, the Saints could have they could stop the run all they want. They could have the best run defense, whatever, all they want. You still got to try it. You still got to try running the ball, all right? Now, Miles Sanders, today's Saturday. I'm not sure if he's going to play in this game, but I do know for the fact that Jordan Howard and Boston Scott, they've been filling in quite admirably. Boston Scott had like 80 yards against the Broncos. And Kenneth Gainwell, he's kind of faded. He was a big factor early in the season, but it's really been Jordan Howard and Boston Scott lately ever since that injury to Miles Sanders against the Raiders. So yeah, but speaking back on the Saints offense, this team does not scare me right now. They don't have Alvin Kamara. They don't have Michael Thomas. I don't even think they have Emmanuel Sanders anymore. I think he got traded. Well, maybe not traded, but he signed with the Buffalo Bills. This offense is very weak. It's a very weak offense. It is a very weak offense that we're facing today. And their defense is tough. I respect the New Orleans defense, but we should beat this team. We should legit beat this team because And I want to speak about Jalen Hurts. We have seen some incredible development from Jalen Hurts lately. It all started in the second half of that Chargers game where he stayed in the pocket. He didn't run from the pocket. He threw that touchdown to Devontae Smith and tied the game. Although we lost against the Chargers, it carried over in the first half of the Broncos game. He played possibly the best football of his career. He was staying in the pocket. He was making these throws. He had 2 touchdowns to Devontae Smith. I didn't mention this last week. He should have had 3 touchdowns, by the way. Quez Watkins, he drops a pass right in the end zone. He literally lets a pass go right through his hands in the end zone. Now, I like Quez Watkins. I'm not going to kill him over it because that's the first bad play I've seen from Quez Watkins. But you got to catch that, man. You got to catch it. So this is Jalen Hurts. If we could keep seeing the Jalen Hurts that doesn't run from the pocket, the Hurts that will stay in the pocket and beat you with his arm, we have our quarterback of the future. I really loved what I saw from Jalen Hurts these last 2 games. I'm seeing some real development from him. So Jalen Hurts, I would give him a second year. Because now he isn't perfect. He has problems like every other quarterback, but the stuff that I'm seeing right now is showing I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing growth from Jalen Hurts. And to be honest, even though Jalen Hurts has struggled in games like the Carolina game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, he hasn't benefited from good play calling most of this year. Nick Sirianni has gotten better lately, but most of this year his play calling has not been good. It hasn't been good, to put it lightly. So Jalen Hurts, I would give him another year because I really don't like this draft class. I really don't like these upcoming quarterbacks like Spencer Rattler and all these other guys. They're not a good class for quarterbacks, but back to the Saints game. So you got to run the ball. You got to get pressure. Jonathan Gannon. Okay. You got pressure again. Against the Broncos. All right. Now, this Saints team, like I mentioned before, they are missing 2 of their tackles. Both of their tackles are out for this game. There is no excuse. There is no excuse for us to not get pressure. I want to see at least 3 sacks in this game. Get pressure. You got to get pressure, Jonathan Gannon. You got pressure against the Lions. You totally crapped the bed against the Chargers. And then you got some pressure against the Broncos. Don't fall into that pattern. I mentioned patterns earlier. You saw what worked the previous week. Build upon that. Continue doing it. This Saints offense is really not that good. They're not that good. I know that they lost very narrowly to the Tennessee Titans last week. It was like it came down to a 2-point conversion. The Saints lost. They put up a good fight against the Titans, I'll admit. And speaking of the Titans, it's really surprising to me that the Titans are still managing to stay afloat without Derrick Henry, which is absolutely insane. I just can't believe that. But the Saints, I get it. They have Mark Ingram, their old running back that they drafted in 2011. He became their all-time leading rusher against the Titans. That's pretty cool. But I don't fear this offense. The defense is concerning me. The defense concerns me, but the offense, I'm not scared of this Saints offense. I'm not. I'm just not scared of them. I want to beat this team. I want to beat this team so bad. I can't stand that freaking coach. That smug coach that they have named Sean Payton. Sean Payton, that was his name. I can't stand Sean Payton. I don't like that guy. I'll always remember after we won the Super Bowl in 2018, we went to New Orleans and we got destroyed, absolutely massacred by the New Orleans Saints. We lost 48-7. 48-7. And the Saints, they had so little respect for us in that game. In the fourth quarter, the Saints were already up like 41-7? It's the fourth quarter, and it's on a 4th down play. Drew Brees, he throws a touchdown pass to make the game 48-7. They ran up the score on us. And that really made me angry. The fact that they just dominated us, the defending Super Bowl champions at the time, the way they just totally just destroyed us in that game, it just really angered me. It angered me like, ooh, I'm getting bad flashbacks. Bad flashbacks from that game. I wish we beat them in the playoffs. We saw them in the playoffs later that year. Could have won. We started off 14-0, and then we later trailed in the game. It was 14-20. And Alshon Jeffrey on a sure first down, he lets the ball go right through his hands, and then it gets intercepted by Marshawn Lattimore. God, that heart-wrenching loss for sure. Marshawn Lattimore, the guy that we should have drafted. One of the guys we should have drafted. Marlon Humphrey was another one. But no, we take Derek Barnett. Howie Roseman. Typical Howie Roseman shenanigans, am I right? So anyway, this game, I feel very confident about this game. I feel very confident. And it is time to win a game at the Link. We are 0-4 at home this year. We have lost 5 consecutive games at Lincoln Financial Field dating back to last season. Coincidentally, our last home win, it was against the New Orleans Saints. The very first start for Jalen Hurts. Him and Sanders both had over 100 yards rushing. We dominated the Saints on the ground, and we won that game 24-21. We were up 17-0, but then right before halftime, Jake Elliott, he missed a 22-yard field goal, and it seemed after that the game's momentum shifted. We hung on to win by 24-21, that score, but well, that game got very uncomfortable near the end. It got very uncomfortable, but we won. We finally beat the Saints for our first win since 2015 against them. Let's do it again. Let's run all over them again. Let's show these crybaby Saints fans who we are.